Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true.
St. Anne's Bay businessman murdered. The St. Anne police are currently at a location on Top Road in St. Anne's Bay, where the body of a businessman, Patrick Lawrence, was discovered this morning. Lawrence, otherwise called Larry, operated a guest house on Top Road, where he also resided. The police, in confirming the incident, said it appears to be a case of murder, as Lawrence's head was bashed in and blood was seen in an area about 20 feet from where the body was found. A drag mark was also seen, suggesting that the body was pulled to the location where it was found. The police are appealing to anyone with information to come forward. Hanover man charged over fatal machete attack. 26-year-old Russian Lewis of Copes District in Hanover has been charged for the chopping death of a bar owner during a dispute. The incident happened in the community on Friday, May 6. Reports from the Rumble police are that about 6 a.m., Lewis was at a bar when he and the owner had a dispute. During the dispute, Lewis reportedly left and returned with a machete, which he used to chop the bar owner several times. The police were summoned and the injured man was taken to hospital where he was admitted. Lewis was arrested and charged on Friday. His court date is being finalized. Veronica Campbell-Brown expecting baby number 2. It is a celebration for 8-time Olympic medalist Veronica Campbell-Brown, who announced Sunday on Instagram that her family is getting bigger. The retired athlete, who is also celebrating her 40th birthday today, made the revelation with a photo cradling her stomach, stating, "Today is the beginning of another year of abundance blessings. For decades, I have grateful to celebrate another milestone with hubby and Aviana, as we are excitedly anticipating the arrival of baby number 2, she wrote. Campbell-Brown already has a daughter who turned 3 years old in February. 298 new COVID-19 cases in Jamaica, 5 deaths reported. The Ministry of Health and Wellness reported 298 new COVID-19 cases and 5 deaths on Saturday, May 14, bringing the infection total to 132,614 and total deaths to 3,004. The new cases comprise 168 females and 130 males, with ages ranging from 25 days to 97 years. The cases were recorded in Kingston and St. Andrew 68, St. Catherine 67, St. James 57, Westmoreland 25, Clarendon 23, St. Anne 14, Trelawney 12, St. Mary 11, Hanover and Manchester 5 each, St. Elizabeth and St. Thomas 4 each, and Portland 3. The deceased include an 81-year-old from St. Elizabeth who died in May 2022, a 93-year-old male from St. Catherine who died in January 2021, previously under investigation, a 50-year-old female from St. Catherine who died in June 2021, an 82-year-old female from St. Catherine, and an 89-year-old male from St. Catherine, both of whom died in September 2021. There were 128 recoveries in the last 24 hours, bringing the total to 85,128. Currently, 51 people are hospitalized, 15 of whom are moderately ill, 2 severely ill, and 2 critically ill. Jamaica's positivity rate for the latest run of testing is 28.2%. Theft, vandalism affecting rural cellular strength, providers insist. Poor cellular reception and weak signal in rural communities spell disaster in times of emergency. In fact, some residents in rural Jamaica say that it is something they have pinned over for quite some time. On a regular day, some hold up cell phones in their ear or walk to a certain spot in their community, while some have just resigned that they'll never benefit from cellular service and signal in their rural communities. However, telecommunications providers Digital and Flow, who boast 99 and 97% population coverage, respectively, have both pointed to the theft and vandalism of service equipment in rural areas as deterrent to providing proper service. In July 2021, Romaine Wright's spouse said she called 119 for 30 minutes in their community of Swampwood, St. Thomas, after he was shot twice by thugs. But with no signal and no vehicle to transport Wright, she said the 29-year-old bled out on the roadway and died. The woman is convinced that things couldn't have gone different if she had better phone signal to call for help. Him just bleed out with no assistance. All me call 119, it wouldn't ring. That affected the outcome. It was real bad. The signal up here is terrible. We don't have any signal. We usually have to walk to a place further down the road called Lloyd's to pick up signal. It is about 20 minutes walk from where I live. You have to go at a spot and hold up the phone. I just WhatsApp people mostly use up here. The mother of the man's 2 children told reporters. Several residents lamented what they said have been a history of poor phone signal, concerned that a similar situation could be repeated. But Digital's Chief Technical and Information Officer, John Drake, told reporters that the Swamp Road St. Thomas area is included in the service expansion and improvement exercise that the company has been conducting in the parish over the past year. In the same way that we deliver 10 times faster data speeds with introduction of LTE service to the parish, we are currently installing a new site in the Lawrence area that will significantly improve service to our customers in Swamp Road and surrounding areas over the next 4 weeks. We wish to thank the residents for their patience while we work to deliver the first-rate network experience that they deserve, he stated. Kean Mitchell, Flow's Director of Communications, said we do have a mobile site in Port Morant that provides coverage for the Swamp Road community and its environs, so our customers should not be experiencing coverage issues in that area. A 2020 study published by the Inter-American Institute of Agricultural Science entitled Rural Connectivity in Latin America and the Caribbean said connectivity generates distinct disadvantage that explain the relative low level of well-being in rural territories. The study said differences with respect to connectivity generate distinct disadvantages that explain the relatively low level of well-being in rural territories and the persistent poverty that affects a significant portion of the rural population. The handicaps reach a point that is truly unacceptable when inadequate physical connectivity and telecommunications isolates these areas from access to knowledge and innovation, which in turn fuel problems that extend far beyond the rural environment, it said. A senior member of the Mandeville Regional Hospital in Manchester told reporters that cellular and data service is severe at the facility. The regular cell service fluctuates, but you may have better cell phone service than you will have data service, the individual stated. Further, 72-year-old Lois Thomas of 19 Miles Sandy Bay in Clarendon said because she has to frequent the hospital because of her health condition, she is worried as to what may happen in an emergency when she tries to make calls. I worry all the time. I'm really worried because it's just me and my husband live. I'm 72 and he's 84. I have to make calls to doctors and that telephone chips out from time to time, especially the cell phone. All the time people call and saying they can't hear from me, she said. Information technology expert Craig Poe told reporters that Jamaica is one of the hardest places to build network infrastructure because it is mountainous. When you think of St. Thomas, which is hills and valleys, technically radio signal can't pass through a mountain. They have to bend around the mountain to speak to other radio towers. You have to have radio towers for essentially every hill to give good service to an area, and it's a lot of work and money to do it, and very few people may probably be in each area. That is the same problem for every deep rural area, which is also compounded by topography, he said. That's why you always have these weird places in Kingston that always have dead zones, because the science is very precise and a bunch of trees or how the hill and valley forms can overshot the area. Poy pointed to regular areas being classified as such because they're far away from main cities and other key infrastructures with less people living there. More trees, more hills by nature because they aren't connected to main cities or infrastructure. Everywhere in the world, it's just harder to justify building out of the complex stuff to service them, and it's further away too. Both providers are doing a good job in giving coverage to the most amount of people in a profitable way. Somebody else, like a government, would have to fund the support of building expense towers to unprofitable locations. Wallace told reporters that Flow has done a lot of work but underscored challenges to access, such as topography and illegal occupancy. On the service delivery side, we continue to grapple with the theft and vandalism. In fact, in 2021, we had over 590 incidents, including cables, batteries, generators, and other network elements. This means that we also have to invest heavily in an extensive and comprehensive asset protection program as well as to restore services to thousands of affected residential and business customers, Wallis stated. Wallis said Flow has continued its Mission Connect program and remain at the forefront of investing to bring connectivity to more unserved and underserved communities across Jamaica. Since 2020, Flow has accelerated the expansion of its fiber network into more than 500 communities across Jamaica, passing more than 170,000 homes. Many of these communities are outside of the Kingston, St. Andrew, St. Catherine region, as we connect more Jamaicans to the online space. While we are in a competitive industry, we are the only providers that is consistently investing in and building out our fixed network in rural, unserved, underserved communities across Jamaica. To the end, we have invested over $40 billion since 2016 to bring more communities online, and we are going to continue until every home that is servable by electricity is covered with fiber. Samaru said Digicel also suffered from theft and vandalism, causing disruptions that pose a severe risk and inconvenience to customers and business, while hampering the continuity of essential services and infrastructure that depend on connectivity. The theft and vandalism of backup power sources have caused both service instability and extended outrage in the past. We consider this as an existential threat to the delivery of a reliable network. It is important to note that we have seen an increase in incidents of vandalism to cables on our fiber optic network, which we believe to be the work of thieves who continue to forge the copper cables mounted along roadway, he told reporters. Samaru said Digicel does not operate a copper-based network as its network is 100% fiber. He said this superior technology is key to deliver extremely fast speeds to homes and businesses with a massive spend of $31 billion. We wish to use this forum to urge persons to stop the practice of cutting telecommunication cables of any type. It is a dangerous, selfish, and unlawful act, Samaru added. He added that while the company monitors its network 24/7 and responds instantly to these types of willful damage, it ends up diverting limited resources towards repairing cables, which can take it up to 8 hours to fix. He noted that people have been charged for such. However, he told reporters that the conviction rate has been low. Quite often, persons found guilty of this crime, simple larceny, receive a suspended sentence or end up paying a small fine. Of course, the charge and penalties do not reflect the serious nature of the crime. For years, we have been advocating for dedicated legislation that provides stiffer penalties for theft and vandalism of cell site equipment, since the practice carried with its severe national security and safety implications. Meanwhile, Wallis added that commercial power outage, electrical burnt of cables, illegal connections, and vehicles tearing down cables also play a role in the interruption of service delivery. Some of the steps we've taken to address these include overbuilding our copper network with fiber, proactive maintenance and monitoring, while adding capacity to managing increased demand on both our fixed and mobile network. For 2022, we will be expanding our fiber network into more than 28 communities across St. Mary, Portland, and St. Thomas, which will take our total expansion in the region over the past 2 years to over 50 communities and developments.
Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.